Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Howard who loved writing stories.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, wubba-dubba-doo. Worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world. He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer.
Welcome to the worst writer in the world with me, Rufus, and he's invisible, which might seem a bit of a rubbish power at first, but he can kill you with his force field.
Hey,
It's...
Howard Long. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the British Comedy Guide for hosting this show. Thanks to every single one of our lovely patrons on Patreon for supporting this show. And thanks to you for listening if you are one of those people who support us as well.
Yeah. You know,
And if you aren't, but maybe you should
right.
think about becoming one, because
should.
that's a pretty great thing to do.
because what you're doing right now is kind of rude. Because, like, you know, there's people... Just imagine that, like, we are a nice pair of bosoms. And some people are supporting us like a bra, and that's good for us.
Whereas some people are just bapping us about callously, aren't they?
Yeah.
And
Some people are just...
that's rude.
Some people are just listening to us, which is just weird.
Yeah, it's like eavesdropping, isn't it? It's like, you know, two people are having a private conversation on the bus, right? Yeah, two people have just met and they're walking around London, having a nice chat, getting to know each other. They don't know that one of them's like dying of brain disease yet. So it all seems quite nice, and you're like following them around 3 steps behind, just listening, and they're like, who's that? Like, follow me in this. I don't know, but he seems to be listening to us without paying us for the privilege, right? That's quite rude. But if like, you know, but imagine if you were like, hey, no, I'm just a normal person, let me take you to this restaurant and buy you dinner.
Yes.
They'd be like, no, that's actually quite a nice idea. And then you could have a nice threesome.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the difference. Do you want to be that weird stalker who's walking behind us, just listening to us trying to get it on? Or do you want to take us in for dinner, and we're going to a very cheap cafe where it only costs $2, right, for all 3 of us, right? And then have a threesome.
Nice.
Which one do you want to be?
Wow.
Oh, no, I didn't sell that very well, should I? They're going for the first option. That's much better.
So the police are coming for us now as well, because what we're offering there is illegal.
Soliciting. Yeah. All right, well, it's episode 7 of The Last Olympian. That's what we're on now.
Ooh.
And
Exciting.
a lot really has happened now. So Samael has agreed to become a freedom fighter alongside Kofensi. Working for Kofensi.
Yeah.
By going and getting a job. Right? So he's going to solve inequality by getting a job. We know that. And to do that, he has to basically take on someone else's identity.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we know. And to take on someone else's identity, he has to have his body mutilated in certain ways. So, quick content warning one more time, everybody. Before you listen to this episode, be prepared for a little bit of body horror, as there's a certain amount of description of bits of bodies being cut off or out. Let's get started, shall we, Howard?
Ooh, yes, please.
All right, so Dr. White just cut Samael's fingertips off. Could you remind me about why? Why has he done that, Howard?
I don't know, probably cultural appropriation, isn't it?
Meaningless. Absolutely meaningless.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, he's done that because they're going to a super high-tech biometric city where they scan your eye and like read your fingerprints. So he can't have his own fingerprints because that will alert everyone to the fact that he's just rubbish old Samael Fell. So he's got to get Mortimer Sykes' fingertips, stick them on his own bones. His finger bones, and then like, you know,
sew them on,
and then everyone will be completely convinced that this man that looks nothing like another man is him.
Yeah, okay. So that now we know why a doctor just cut Samael's fingertips off, which seems like an awful thing to do. So yeah, no. White says, "Feel anything?" and Samael says, "Ill," and White says, "In here." White indicates a bowl of surgical fluid, which Samael places his bleeding fingers in. White begins the operation on Sykes. He starts by removing the thumb. God, this is so detailed. I think because you're not going to show it, the movie's probably not as bad as reading this script. I feel like I am going through it more than a viewer of this movie would be.
Yeah, but I mean, like, people imagine things, don't they? It's like that scene in Reservoir Dogs where you don't see him cut off the ear, but everyone imagines that they do. So everyone's watching someone's reaction to fingers getting cut off is still as traumatic.
Yeah, no, it's gonna. Oh, absolutely, it's gonna be horrific. What I'm saying is, I've suffered more than anyone here.
Yeah, fine,
including Samuel and that dead bloke. So White says the flesh needs to be transplanted ASAP to keep it alive. If they don't take, at least they'll stay on longer. And Samuel says, what? White has removed the thumb tip from Sykes. Your body may reject the donor tissue. We won't know for some weeks, hopefully long enough to do the job.
I'm not sure that's...
What?
Yeah, what? That's not true, is it?
Worst case scenario, in all probability, it will be a success and they'll stay. And if they don't? Nobody has an answer. Fantastic. Then the ends of your fingers will drop off.
They turn green and fall off.
And your eyes will fall out. I mean, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about transplanting his eyes, right? That's one of the things they're going to do.
I remember in the opening sequence when people want to get on buses and things like that, they scan the right hand and the right eye. So
oh, well, that's nice then. And I guess no one will notice that he has different colour eyes and like stitch marks around his fingertips. All right, Dissolve 2. Interior compartment moments later. White has sawn off all the fingertips. He got overexcited and did everyone's. Hey, what did you do that for? I've even done my own. Everybody's gone. Now, right, jumble them around. Yeah. Now we won't know who anybody is until we...
You're a doctor now. Can you go and perform surgery? I don't know.
Okay, then. It'll be off. White has sawn off all the fingertips and is now sewing them onto Samael.
So he's got has he got 40 now then?
Yeah. He is onto the second one. The thread he uses is transparent.
Good, that's going to help.
Now keep still. This will take some time. Yeah, that's how so no one can see it. No one will ever notice that he's had fingertips sewn on because he's not using black thread that would really stand out against this white skin. No, he's using transparent thread. It's all fine. Now keep still. This will take some time. The door handle rattles. Shit. They stop breathing. Everybody looks concerned. Knock, knock. A ticket inspector says, "Biocheck."
Oh, no.
They all look at one another. Samael, quietly. "Give me his fingers." Loudly. "1 moment, please." Not waiting for the panic-stricken White, Samael grabs the remaining 3 fingertips and slips them onto the bone one by one. Samael says, "Kafenzi, get him and yourself out of sight." That's not right. What's not right? Oh, I get it. Okay, so Kafenzi, get him and yourself out of sight. Wait a minute, that's not right. Samael quickly swaps a couple of fingertips. I'm so disturbed. I'm so distressed by this that I can't speak anymore. Samael quickly swaps a couple of fingertips around.
He's damn wrong. He's put like the thumb on his little finger and things, and he's like, "Hold on a second.
Wait a minute. This isn't correct." It's because he chopped all 40 fingertips off. I've got them mixed up. Some of these are black. Yeah. Samael quickly swaps a couple of fingertips around, then, hiding his right hand, goes to the door. White and Kafenzi move Sykes. I mean, they're in a 6-person booth. How many places are there to hide? Are they all in the luggage rack? What the fuck?
Under the table? I don't know.
Samael opens the door slightly and greets the ticket inspector. "Hi, sorry, me and my friend wanted some privacy." The ticket inspector sees Samael's naked torso.
Ooh, sexy.
"Well, if I could just get both your details." "Sure, Doc." The ticket inspector holds out the biometric print reader. White joins Samael at the door. The ticket inspector stares up at White, towering above him. The stare of someone who disapproves of white and black people getting it on. So in this future, like, homophobia dealt with, solved that. Racism ramped it up. Oh, God. Yeah. We solved some bigotry, but made some of it worse.
That's what happens, isn't it? knock-on effects.
While he stares at White, Samael quickly places his bleeding, unstitched hand onto the print reader. It reads successfully, and he conceals his hand again. Oh, nice move. Samael used the ticket inspector's racism against him, used his prejudice against him while he was like giving him a disapproving look. Oh. Nothing quickly. No one will notice my fingers are balanced on my bone. Yeah. No one will notice I'm wearing someone else's fingers like gloves.
Then he's like, wait a second, that's not right. He looks down, the fingertips are still on the print reader.
No. Look at the black man.
There's another black man I've been fucking. Quickly look.
It reads successfully and he conceals his hand again. Dr. White puts his hand on the print reader, green lit. The ticket inspector says, "Have a pleasant journey." The ticket inspector leaves. They close and lock the door. Kafensi and White sigh with relief.
How do we know? It says it in the script, but there's no way of like putting across that like the ticket inspector's problem is interracial sex as opposed to homosexual sex, is it?
True. Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Unless like the ticket inspector needs to be incredibly gay.
Even then, so very, very camp homophobes, I think that's a thing, right? He'd have to come in and say, hello, I've just come from fucking a man. Sorry, I'm a bit late. Yeah. I've been fucking a man. Yeah. Anyway, have you got your what's going on with you two? I disapprove strongly. And the audience put it together like, well, he's just been fucking a man. He can't, and he openly admitted it. It's not like he's even
a white one, by the way.
Oh yeah. No, that's the thing. And then maybe we do patronise. I was going to say we don't have to patronise people, but maybe we should. Samael said, you just said you were fucking a man. And he's like, yeah, but I was fucking a white one. And we all understand perfectly. All right, rewrite, brilliant, nailed. Kafensi and White sigh with relief. Samael stares at White. Fucking sew the fingers on. The thing about this script is when you write the word sew, you write it S-O-W, which is like what you do with seeds, right? So I don't know if Samael is like, or if this operation is different to what I'm imagining. Actually, they're planting fingertips and they're going to grow new fingertips. And that's why there's not going to be any stitch marks because they're sewing, not sewing.
I agree.
Or it's the word sow, like a female pig. I don't know.
Sow
Fucking sow the fingers on, and then their magic pig turns up and they go on magically. That could be it too.
Could be, yeah. You probably should have used some more advanced technology than like, a needle and thread to put someone's fingertips on, right?
I mean, magic pig's pretty good.
Yeah, magic pig, yeah.
Fucking magic pig the fingers on, please. All right, then. Go and get the sow. Cut 2, exterior, train track, night. The train travels on through the night. Interior, compartment, later, night. Samael lies back on the carriage seats. He has brand new fingertips. Although the thread is transparent, there is a line round each attachment of dried blood. No one changing that. Samael lies back on the carriage seats. He has brand new fingertips and you can't tell because of that magic pig that put them on for him. Sykes lies unconscious on the other seat. Sykes isn't dead. I thought they murdered him.
No, they said they needed to keep him alive so his flesh would take or something.
Oh, because they haven't done the eyes yet.
Yeah, not done the eyes yet.
Oh God, are we gonna? I assume we were just gonna cut away for that bit. You're gonna make us sit through that as well.
Yeah, there's another scene.
I felt like we'd got the idea. Cut away, come back later.
All his five eyes out.
Oh, I did all of them. Now I can't see what I'm doing. I cut everyone's eyes out, and now I'm lost. So, Kafensi stands off watching as Dr. White... Sorry, I just saw Dr. White written down and it just occurred to me how few letters you need to change to make that Doctor Who. Kafensi stands off watching as Dr. White, not Doctor Who, kneels beside Samael. To the right eye, he has applied a device which holds the eyelids firmly apart and wide. Oh, God. This contraption has spider-like legs which wrap around the face and locking the jaws shut, preventing Samael from speaking properly. The spider clamp. It says it's got a colon at the end, and then it says the spider clamp, right? Which I'm pretty sure that was a character in Into the Spider-Verse, right? Spider clamp, the one who turned up and what was it? The one that was a duck, right? The one that was a duck was called Spider Clamp, right? who brought this duck? This duck, and why is he called Spider Clamp? I know, hopefully by this point people are up to date, but when Howard saw Into the Spider-Verse, just to remind you one more time, when Howard saw Into the Spider-Verse, he thought Spider-Ham was a duck. Spider-Ham.
He was in a costume and he had a beak.
Probably a duck. Spider-Ham. He had a snout.
He had a big beak and he was in
He
a
had a
costume. You
snout
couldn't
and
see
pig
that he
ears.
was a pig, could you? So it could have easily been a
Yeah,
duck under
it
there.
was pig-shaped. It was. I mean, there were a couple of clues.
Yeah, but I'm not Sherlock Holmes, am I? I'm not going to pick up on those clues.
And it's still, I mean, one of the best things I've ever heard is that you thought Spider-Ham was a duck. That's so funny. It never fails to make me cry with laughter every time I think of you believing Spider-Ham was a duck. Dr. White produces what looks like some kind of pump, which we know is going to be used to suck his eye from his socket. Samael says, reasonably.
Yeah, because he can't speak because of the spider duck around his face.
Yeah, Spider-Ham, the duck, is on his face and he can't speak. White says, I've pumped you full of painkillers, but when I cut the optic nerve, you'll feel a sharp burning sensation. It could last for weeks. Fucking hell. I'm super traumatized by this. And then, oh, that's weird. Samael says, E-I-O-E-I.
E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah.
Old McMee.
Old McMee didn't have any eyes. E-I-E-I-O. And
Ouch.
Dr. White gave me some eyes. E-I-E-I-O. Dr. White says, okay, I'm removing it from the socket. It now. I'm removing it from the socket. It now. I'm removing it from the socket. There should be a full stop. That's what it is, isn't it? I'll do it properly. So, okay, I'm removing it from the socket. It now. That's how you do that line. White applies the suction pump to Samael's right eye. When I pull the plunger back, you may hear a slight pop.
It looks kind of like a pump, but it is a pump. It's a bicycle pump that he's just going to suck his eyeball out with.
Samael says, yo, yo, yo. And White says, what? Kafensi says, he wants you to stop the commentary. Yeah, actually, I want that too. Yeah. Oh. White pushes the plunger on the device down and then slowly pulls it back. There is indeed a popping sound. Samael says, yo, yo, yo. White removes the pump. Kafensi flinches and turns around. He does not want to see, nor do I. White removes the spider clamp. I've taken the duck off. I have removed the duck. You can move now. White moves to Sykes and applies the clamp, then the pump. Plunge, suck, pop. We hear Kafensi dry heave at the sound. White moves back to Samael. Samael lays there with the right eye sat on his cheek. White says, you okay? And Samael, to break the tension, says, I want to cry, but I don't know where from. I don't know if your comedy's perfectly timed in this script. I feel like a second pass at these jokes.
That's amazing.
When
I love it.
White says, you're doing good. It'll be over soon. White takes a stencil knife from his equipment.
Oh my God.
Samael says, decide, do, don't regret, die. Oh no, hang on. No. Kafensi says, I need air.
Yeah.
You need air. Kafensi unlocks the compartment. Don't let anyone see you, says White helpfully. White, with his back turned, fails to see Mortimer Sykes twitch as the door closes behind Kafensi. Mortimer is awake, groggy and confused. Why can't he open his mouth? And why is he seeing in two different directions? Oh my God. Decide, do, don't regret. Sykes brings his hand up instinctively to his face, his right hand, which is missing fingertips. He is aghast. White cuts the nerve. Samael says, no, I know. Now, Julie H. fucking Christie. Mortimer's hand discovers the problem and reaches around to find the other eye hanging from its socket by the optic nerve. I'm going to apply a pain relief solvent to the cut.
Thank you.
This should numb the pain briefly before I take Mortimer's eye. Mortimer is sat up, holding his right eye with his weird right hand. He turns the eye around. So he's holding his eye, he's like looking around with it, like holding it, like moving it left and right so he can see different things. POV Mortimer Sykes.
Brilliant.
In a bizarre split screen for a man with one eye in his head and the other in his hand, Mortimer's left eye looks at the right eye in his fingertipless hand, while the right
Must be so weird.
looks back at his one-eyed head locked in the spider clamp. Why? Who put that duck on my head?
Oh, God.
Hang on, there are bigger questions at the moment, but I do want to know where that duck came from. I'll be coming back to that question later when I work out this eye problem. Interior compartment night. Mortimer Sykes, viewing the scene, realises he is in deep shit. He cannot see Samael and ditto. The view is blocked by White, who is knelt over Samael. Mortimer quickly grabs a sharp instrument from the table and sticks it in the back of White's neck.
Shit.
Oh, fuck. White grunts and tumbles over. Mortimer sees Samael lying there with a cut and bloody optic nerve, wishing to escape a similar fate. Mortimer runs from the carriage, presumably still holding his eye in his fingertipless hand. This is horrific. This is a fucking gore fest. I tell you what, if I was watching this movie, I would have switched it off by now. No, I'm not into like gory stuff. I would have gone, okay, that's enough. I've had it. I'm stopping.
Not gory. It's just like a little bit of surgery.
Yes, another thing I don't particularly enjoy watching. So Samael says, ball fuck, because even in the state he's in, he's still open to some creative swearing. Ball fuck. Samael hauls himself up, dizzily looks down at Dr. White and says, you dead? White says, get him back. So presumably the answer's no.
Just as well.
That's good, because if he was, that's the end of the film, right?
Yeah.
Now, like, Samael just bleeds to death.
Kafense's going to, like, stitch his eye back on.
Yeah, I feel like that's not something you can just busk.
No, I agree.
Samael tries to pick up the electric surgical circular saw with his right hand, but it's not quite up to the job. The job? Oh, his hand's not up to the job. Still rather numb. So he can't grab with his right hand. So he grabs it with his left hand is out the door. Cut 2, interior train corridor POV, Samael. With one-eyed vision, we chase Mortimer, because he's actually had one of his eyes cut out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mortimer is running, trying to scream, but failing due to the spider clamp. I don't want to scream, but there's a duck on my face. He bangs on a few doors as he goes. Unfortunately for him, he has elected to go in the direction of the coal trucks rather than the populated area of the train. Interior train corridor night. Mortimer reaches the door at the end, which leads out to the toilets. He turns and sees Samael following with the saw. He unlocks the door and leaves the train carriage. Samael follows Mortimer out. Somebody opens their compartment door to see what the banging is. But as there is no one there, they shrug it off and close the door. Cut 2, exterior train, coal trucks, night. The rear door of the train leads out to the coal trucks. Great, tall things, all half full. Are we going to have a fight on the top of a train?
Yeah.
With one man who only has one eye, like a bleeding eye socket, and the other man who is holding his eye in his hand, and they're going to do some kung fu.
Yes.
Because that would be amazing.
Definitely. But I don't know whether they can do kung fu. They're just regular people. You know, I don't write kung fu experts in my scripts.
I know you don't, but this would be a time to lean into that kind of trope, because neither of them have any depth perception, right? Like Mortimer's doing his best by holding his eye up like next to where it should be, so he's trying to get some 3D going on. But meanwhile, Samael keeps punching where he thinks the guy is, and he's always like too short, and they're just kind of standing next to each other, and keep missing. With the great fear. in his eyes, Mortimer. How do we know he's got great fear in his eyes? Like, what do we? Can you have an expression in your eye when it's been removed from your head?
Yeah.
I think that should be with the great fear in his left eye, right? The one that's still
in his face.
Yeah, in his left eye.
Yeah, you get the point.
Yeah. Mortimer hangs from the lip of the coal truck and pulls himself up. Samael emerges from within the train to see Mortimer's legs disappear into the truck. He leaps at the truck to follow, but as he does so, he slips and lands on the coupler's head, hanging dangerously close to the ground.
God.
He quickly pulls himself up.
Phew.
Mortimer is halfway across, crawling through the coal. Samael, more carefully this time, leaps for the coal truck, but he's got no depth perception and he misses and dies on the tracks. No, he gets a grip on the lip and pulls himself up. Got a grip on the lip. Samael drops into the coal and pursues. It is difficult to gain footing and he keeps stumbling.
Idiot. Oh, an idiot.
Mortimer reaches the edge of the truck and jumps from view into the next truck. Samael is gaining on him and reaches the end of the truck. When do they become trucks? Is that the right term?
Coal trucks, yeah.
He pulls himself up and leaps into the next truck. But Mortimer is not running anymore. He has found a shovel and is waiting.
Oh, no.
It's like holding it in one hand with his eye in the other hand, right? That's what this is going to be.
I think his eye is just swinging around at this point.
Oh, that is horrible. At least he could put it in his top pocket.
Yeah,
right?
maybe he has. Maybe he's got one. No, unless he...
Like
didn't they take his
balance so he
clothes
can
off, though?
see.
Isn't he, like, naked as well?
Balanced on his shoulder.
It's just in his pants,
Like
right?
a little parrot.
I don't know who's mentioned it, but, like, they stole all his clothes because Samael's going to wear
Yeah, they
them,
did,
right?
didn't they? They did, yeah. So this naked man with his eye hanging out of its socket, holding a shovel. As Samael lands in the coal, he looks up to see the shovel heading straight for his face. Samael manages to roll out of the way, and the shovel strikes instead the side of the coal truck, causing much pain in Mortimer's wrists. Because he's doing this without his fingertips on one hand as well, right? This is fucking horrific. And making him lose his footing, he slips over backwards. Samael clambers to his feet, whereupon Mortimer, now sans shovel, immediately launches himself at him. They fall to the coal in a heap and wrestle.
Sexy.
Mortimer scratches Samael's cheek with his skeleton fingertips. Oh, God. Can I have that bucket that that Samael had earlier? I think I need the bucket. Samael pulls the circular saw from his person.
Oh, my God.
And switches it on.
Oh, my God.
It is coming very close to Mortimer's face. Mortimer lets go of Samael's arm and whacks the saw, which skitters off.
Oh, okay.
Samael quickly uses his feet to push Mortimer off, who falls ungracefully backwards. What's happening with his eye all this time? Mortimer scrabbles up and begins to run again.
Scrabbles up.
Yeah, he scrabbles up. Samael pursues. Mortimer has reached the end of the truck and leaps for the other side, but miscalculates terribly and falls outside the truck, clinging on with his one good hand.
Shit.
Samael rushes after and peers over the edge. Mortimer is trying to gain a hold with his skeleton fingers, but having little luck, he will surely fall soon. Samael proffers his left hand. Take my hand.
That's not your hand, that's my hand. What are you talking about?
Take your hand. I mean, no, don't take it away, but, grab it. Samael says, come on. Samael leans forward further. Mortimer, scared, balks, and his hand slides from the truck.
Shit.
Slow motion, Mortimer falls backwards.
Oh, no.
His eye, attached by the cortex, hangs above his head, falling slower than the body it is attached to. I'm so shocked about what's going to happen.
Yeah. Because he weighs more than his eye, so he falls quicker.
Samael. I'm going to put so many content warnings on these episodes. Samael makes a grab with his left hand. Mortimer falls to his death, and Samael rolls back onto the coal. Samael catches his breath. He opens his left hand.
Yeah.
Within is contained the eye with the cortex attached.
Brilliant.
Well, that was quite an action scene. Fucking horrific. Absolutely fucking horrific.
Yeah. I mean, you would have preferred it if they'd just driven around in a car and parked under a skip or something.
That's my kind of action scene, yeah. Drive around in a car for a bit and then, put a sheet over your car. So after an exciting chase along the top of a train, Mortimer Sykes fell off the back of the train onto the tracks and died.
Hooray!
But fortunately, as he fell, Samael managed to grab hold of his eye,
Yeah.
which was falling less quickly than he was because it doesn't weigh as much. He grabbed his eye
Yeah.
because of cartoon physics and just yanked it off. But fortunately, it had all the bits it needed still attached, so it's all fine, and he's really pleased about that.
Yeah, the brain, that was there.
Mortimer Sykes. Yeah, because eye transplant's not possible. Yeah. So it's still, unfortunately, it still had Mortimer attached. No, he got the eye. So he's got the eye, and now he's going back to the cabin. Cut 2, interior compartment, night. Kafensi is bandaging White's wound. Who's White? Is he the doctor?
Yeah.
Why has he got a wound? What happened to him?
So, because Dr. White was tending to Samael Fell when Mortimer Sykes picked up a scalpel or something and shoved it in his neck.
In his neck? Fuck.
Yeah, so we were worried that maybe... I think it was his neck.
He's definitely dead, yeah. Okay.
Who's going to perform this impossible eye surgery now that Dr. White is dead?
Kafensi is bandaging White's wound. Unfortunately, this is pointless because White is dead. But Kafensi is very optimistic. No, he's not dead. The door opens. They both look around quickly, worried. They are relieved to see Samael. So that's like... That's some good relieved acting. White says, "The eye." Samael tosses it to White, who barely catches it.
Oh my God. Don't fucking be throwing it around.
Shit, yeah, that's... Samael, after everything he's gone through... I mean, this is fucking movie cool, isn't it? This is he's gone through so much to get this eye. He's had his own eye cut out, and I bet they chucked it out the window, right? Get rid of it. Yeah. Either way, there was no mention of any kind of ice packs or to keep his eye fresh. His eye's definitely gone off. So, but now he's like the only eye he's got, just chucking it around like it's a tennis ball.
Yeah, he should have a ping pong paddle, shouldn't he? He should bat it across to them.
Yeah. Samael tosses it to White, who barely catches it. Kafensi says, "Sykes." Samael says, "Dead." Pause. Right. "You did good, Sam." "Yeah, I'm your man, am I?" "Where the heck were you?" Samael slams Kafensi up against the wall.
Wow.
Yikes. Or he tries to, but he misses because he's got no depth perception and accidentally gets the doctor.
Accidentally goes out the window.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, shit. That's me plan, Garno. "Come on, we've no time to argue. Samael." White gestures and Samael lets go of Kafensi and lies down on the seats. White washes the eye. "I'm just giving this eye a scrub." "Oh, no, ruined it." I shouldn't have used the scourer side of the sponge. That was and the bleach. That was a bad idea. White washes the eye and then sets about attaching it to Samael's optic nerve. White uses laser technology now.
Oh, finally, after knitting their fingertips on. Knitting needles, and now it's laser technology. Yeah.
The way it says now as well. It's like because he's doing eye surgery, and you've heard of laser eye surgery, and you're a bit confused about what it is.
Yeah, but I've not heard of laser finger surgery, so that's not happening.
Laser fingertip surgery doesn't exist. Laser eye surgery, that's probably replacing people's eyes, isn't it? With lasers.
With laser guns. Pew!
Brilliant. No, it gets better though, because I mean that's an amazing start. White uses laser technology now, but then it goes into more detail because you're not lazy. You're not just like he uses a laser to put his eye on. You wouldn't stop there. You say White uses laser technology now. A rather Star Trek-looking device.
Oh God, yeah. A weird-looking
it looks
battery
like nothing
tester.
more or less than a battery tester. Yeah. A rather Star Trek-looking device. You haven't progressed at all, have you?
Hey,
your first
but I mean,
drafts.
you know what I'm talking
your
about when I
first
say
drafts.
that. I mean,
I
I
do,
think you do,
yeah.
unless people are going like, what, like the Starship Enterprise? He uses a spaceship.
Yeah, what? Like Jean-Luc Picard? He uses a bald Frenchman with an English accent. Yeah, so a rather Star Trek-looking device. Yeah, no, if they had a matter transport, what's that called?
The teleport?
Beamy device, right? To just beam the new eye into his head. That'd be good.
Yes.
Do you think Star Trek can do surgery like that?
Yes, surely they can.
I'm just beaming your eye out of your head, the broken eye. Okay, just beaming a new one in. All right, there you go. You can go now. You're fine.
You could beam out a heart and put a new one in, I suppose. I don't know, but like, because if you beam something out, right, that's one thing. But I mean, yeah, I don't think if you beam it in, it's not going
to be connected.
Yeah,
it's just flapping about.
Yeah,
just a heart in your chest cavity doing nothing.
They're like, oh, it didn't work. Sorry, you're dead. Yeah.
Worth a try, though. Worth a try.
Yeah. I forgot that. Like,
I beamed his heart out and he died immediately. I was very disappointed. Oh, that was going to work.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway, next time we're gonna beam his head off. We're gonna beam his head off and see if I can do a head transplant.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's dead. Oh fuck. All right, leg surgery. Here we go. I think this one's going to work. This Frenchman, Jean-Luc Picard, wants me to beam some more legs onto him for some reason. Yes, I do. Please, my name is Jean-Luc Picard. Would you beam some legs onto me, please?
Yeah.
I want beam all the legs off my crew and onto me, please. Oh dear, all the crew is now dead. Well, that's a shame, but I've got all the legs, so it's all right. I'm the Borg now. I'm the leg Borg now, okay?
Legborg, yeah. Definitely.
I mean, I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but I do think the Borg's a pretty good villain. Pretty scary, right?
Yeah.
But the leg Borg would be better. Much better. They don't want to assimilate you, they just want your legs.
Yeah.
But that's still pretty fucking fatal.
And the Klagons as well. The Romulegs are there as well. They're all good. That's my Star Trek knowledge exhausted.
Jean-Leg Picard.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my point is that Star Trek would be better if the Borg just wanted your legs.
Yes.
Also, if they beamed your legs off so you never knew when they were going to get you. Because their beaming technology works over a long distance. You know, they can beam people from really far away, right?
True.
So suddenly you've not got legs and you're bleeding to death. Oh no, the Borg beamed my legs off. Oh, what a bad day.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, wubba-dubba-doo. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Worst Writer in the World. It was good, wasn't it?
Oh, that was my favourite yet.
But I'll tell you what's better.
Oh.
All the stuff you can get on Patreon for as little as $2 a month. Go to patreon.com/manbycow and check out things like Grep Binch Thief stories that are exclusive to Patreon, Man by Cow episodes that are also exclusive, and the Secret Gang podcast. There's even one or two there available for $2, and loads of them available for $7.
Yes.
So go and have a look. It's much better than this rubbish. Bye-bye milk.
Bye-bye milk.
He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer. Yeah.